What's approaching the supreme moment, reality striking closer than it seems, don't it? Go ahead.
What's good? Let's go ahead and test out another unit. This is obviously a private server, so the stats may differ a little bit, but just kind of want to keep doing this so you guys can visually see what the stats are like and what the performance is. Maxed out a rainbow status. This is the Extreme STR Coolieza, so it's a fusion between Frieza and Cooler. So let's go over the stats a little bit. He does have the leader skill of strength type, HP and defense increase of 60%. Super attack, which is the supernova, causes supreme damage to enemy. The passive skill will increase attack by 70% when performing a super. Now in terms of link skills, he's got Universe's most malevolent, strongest clan in space, thirst for conquest, fear and faith, fuse fighter, and metamorphosis. So he does fall into the fusions category, and at max status, rainbow star status, his HP is at 13,411, attack is at 13,100, defense is at 9,055. He was part of the the Dragon Ball Fusions banner that came out a little while back. The 12 key multiplier is 130%. So for this video's purposes, I'm gonna go with initially an extreme strength team because he does seem to link better with that format. But the second half will have the fusion category team, just to kind of play around with two different formats. Now, I've never seen a maxed out version in my main JP account, so it's always interesting to see these types of cards, what they look like maxed out, what their damage potential is. So I'm not gonna tell you either way whether to max this guy out or not. I mean, this video's purpose is to basically give you an idea of whether you should or not. But I mean, he is doing pretty decent, I think. So hitting for a little over 300,000, and with the critical hitting for about 620,000 against the Super Saiyan 4 Goku. And obviously this is Boss Rush 3 where the test is taking place. And you'll see him linked up pretty heavily with the LR Frieza just because of the link skills that they share. So the second half, yeah, like I said, it'll be in a fusions team. He won't be sharing as many link skills like Frieza, but it'll probably be offset by the extra percentage boost toward attack because there is a difference of about 30% per lead between the Strength Janemba lead versus the Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta lead. We'll see how he does against Naze right here, since he does have type advantage and defense is much lower. Looks to be consistently about 600,000-ish, so with the critical against that guy, he hit for about 1.8 million. Type advantage, type disadvantage about 300,000. Not really taking that bad of a hit, even with the type disadvantage, but again, this is a much weaker enemy here, so. So in comparison, he did do about, 280,000 less than this LR Frieza here, so that should give you kind of a basis of comparison. Alright, on to Cooler, where he's got type advantage, so should do a little bit better than he has been. And his defense is pretty good due to him having type advantage here. So, I mean, 600k against Cooler is not too bad. Now, obviously, with the link skills, it's more efficient to include, you know, characters and cards that do share link skills, like Universe's Most Malevolent, you know, Strongest Clan in Space, Thirst for Conquest, and I think that's pretty much it. So the you're looking at 15% increased attack for one of the link skills, and then another 15%. So, you know, in combination of the key links, you know, he could definitely get boosted by another 30% toward attack. So that's kind of why I went with initially an extreme strength team, because again, he does share quite a bit of links with the LR Frieza or any of the, you know, Frieza family kind of cards, I guess. Which I would love to see kind of like a Frieza category team. That'd be pretty tight, I think. And honestly, depending on the leader skill settings, like if it's anywhere close to like 100, at least 120, you know, up to 150%, you know, all those outdated cards that people rarely use nowadays will become, you know, relevant again in a way. So I think that would make things a little bit interesting. Alright, so LR Frieza hit for about 500,000. Let's see in comparison how this guy does. So a little bit less, but 400,000 there. So yeah, I mean it's roughly about 80 to 90,000 in difference. So I mean, attack wise, he's doing decently now. You know, the question of whether you want to, you know, invest the orbs onto this guy, I mean, it's entirely up to you, but I don't know. You know what I mean? And his the ability to pull this card or even dupes is pretty limited because it's a pretty exclusive banner. You know, I don't even remember how many times. It probably was only available once. So yeah, I don't know if you got cards of this guy just sitting around, maybe it's worth the investment. I don't know. So we'll switch things up a little bit and go into the Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta event. I've been kind of going through Boss Rush 3 quite a bit with these test videos, so let's just switch it up a little bit. Definitely took a pretty decent hit there. His defense definitely isn't that great. He doesn't get any sort of buff with his passives or anything, but in terms of his ability to hit, it looks like, against the tougher bosses, he's looking to be, around that 400,000 region. Now, I did switch it over here, and he's on a Fusions category team, so, in comparison to the Extreme Strength, let's see how he does on a Fusions team. So he did about 300,000 there with the type disadvantage. This is the, what is it, Boss Rush 2. So the enemies are a little bit weaker than Stage 3, but, we'll just, I didn't want to get it too repetitive, you know what I mean? So this is more or less just kind of having a little fun, I guess. Alright, so he's about to conduct cannibalism here. And having some family feuds, I guess. Having Pandel, in the rotation definitely does help because of the 30% boost toward, attack for all allies, plus the Fusions category lead. It's 150% increased attack versus 120% for the Strength Janemba. So, I mean, overall, you're looking at a little bit higher output potentially here because of that. So that's why you're seeing like 760k for potential damage. Now, again, you just saw 1.4 million in damage capacity, but again, these guys are a little bit weaker than Boss Rush 3, so just keep that in mind when you're kind of comparing the two formats. Alright, looks like he's going into Dokkan mode, and the Goku Black here is pretty weak, so I expect a pretty decent amount of damage here. Alright, so he hit for 2.3 million against Goku Black. Given the status of that enemy being a little bit weaker, still not too bad. So I guess we'll go ahead and finish up with the physical type Goku Black here and just see what the damage potential is. 809,000 against him, just there, and then yeah, overall, I mean, not too bad.